Hey, I'm making a vlog. Tomorrow is gonna be the writing day. My hair is still wet. I just got out of the shower. I'm about to sleep. It's 11 o'clock at night, which is normally later than I usually sleep. It's close enough, kinda. I wake up at 6:30 tomorrow to do farm chores. I'll see if I can get some footage of that. But it's kind of like faux pas almost on the farm that I work on. So I get up at 6:30 and I will see you then. Hopefully I won't be tired as shit. Okay, so it's about 10 a.m. I usually wake up at 6:30. I don't know if I said that already, but I stayed up until about 2 a.m. and didn't wake up until about 8. So that's a bit yikes. On the bright side, I did get some writing done. I got about 700 words in, or about 3 pages of written text. Some of it was from last night, but I think the majority was of today. And then the last thing I need to do is take my meds, which I just did. And I'm probably gonna make my bed and then try and get a little more writing in. I'm kind of getting tired of laying on my bed and writing. I kind of hate desks with a burning fiery passion, so we're gonna see how this works because I'm not sure if I like to sit at my desk, but I'm also sure I don't like to sit at my bed. So we're gonna have to see what I'm gonna do, and I will update you then. So I've gotten the first 3 chapters done yesterday, and they're kind of short chapters, I've noticed. They're about 1,500 words each. And the issue with that is I'm not sure if I like it. I'm not sure if I'm going to patch these together or leave them separate, but it's kind of like a bite-sized thing, I guess. I wrote about 5,000 words yesterday, and today I'm gonna fuck around. Usually, I write in Notion, right? And usually in Notion, you can make a planner and like a bullet journal in it, unlike Scrivener, which is why I use Notion. But the issue with that is that you can't, like, for me in my writing process, the more emphasis I put on the way I write, the less ability I have to write as an escape. And that's ultimately the only reason I write. I write because I do not like life and I would like to do something else instead. These little markers I have for the drafts, so I write everything by hand, if I can show you, in this journal I got, I believe, from Barnes & Noble. I usually get my journals from Amazon, but I felt frisky and I bought one at Barnes & Noble. So, I've named all these chapters, and this over here means like what draft it's on. 0 means it's still in the book. It hasn't been typed up yet. 1 is I've just typed it up from the book and it needs more work, and I usually get that done before completing the next scene. And then 2 means it's been revised and it's waiting to come back to once the novel is over. Again, a lot of people say don't go back and self-edit, don't do this, don't do that. Again, I've noticed the more I focus on what other people want me to do, the less it feels good. So I just write when it makes me feel good, and apparently that gets me 5,000 and a half words in a day. So we'll see how that goes. So here, this is my notebook. I used to use it a lot for like school notes, and that's a lot of handwriting practice. But about halfway through, I switched it from my everything notebook to just my writing notebook. And in that time, I have filled out roughly this many pages, which I believe is somewhere between 13 and 20. And this is all handwritten on one side, and then on this side, if you can see over here, this side has like notes. Sometimes it's like plot kernels, enemies to lovers, ? Or sometimes it's word corrections that I can't type it right in because it has too many mistakes. Like, let's see. Is like I did look and then I wanted to do it in past tense, but I'd already written like the whole paragraph. So I ended up going back and just writing that out. And then sometimes it's like, oh, maybe this character should be called Duke. Maybe this character should be a rebel. You know, it's like, so it's a lottery. Most of the time I leave this page blank. My weird anxiety brain just says this, having one side be written on and one side not be written on, it feels good. As for what I write with a fountain pen, if I can grab it. This is the Platinum Preppy. I've noticed that I really like scratchy, really fine writing. Because I'm used to writing with, if you can look back here, dip pens. I write a lot with dip pens. And dip pens are very scratchy, very fine. A lot of flex to them, so you can make big lines, small lines, etc. I'm an artist, it's just how it works. And the Platinum Preppy is the only pen I've found that has a fine enough tip. It's about 0.2 millimeters, and then I turn it around and write on the back half of it, which makes it even smaller. And so that's what ends up being how I write. In it, I've inked it up with Pilot Iroshizuku, which is a really expensive brand of ink that I bought like 2 years ago and I need to use up, but I've been too scared to use it, so now I'm using it. I've got 3 of these pens, one's in blue, one's in black, and one's in red, as you can see. The red cartridge I've taken out in favor of the converter. The black still has its black cartridge and the blue still has its blue cartridge. And I have the red cartridge still waiting around. I'm kind of hesitant. I want to start using red ink to write these notes instead and like to scribble out and stuff. And there's 2 things that I would issue with that is, one, I'm not sure if it would be too laborious in my process to take up a different pen, strike it out, write a note, pick up the same pen, and write again. It might screw up my flow. But in any other case, I'm okay with it. And we're gonna see if I can try it today. I'm not sure. I'd have to use up all the ink in this cartridge, because Lord knows I'm not putting it back in the bottle after it's touched this. I do not want fungus in my ink. So I'm gonna finish out this cartridge, which should take another day, 2 days, if I don't write enough. But if I do write enough, then this should hopefully be filled with red ink by the end of today. Not today, by the end of that time. Alright, so I've gone ahead and I've packed my bag. It's a fanny pack, so I can't show you, it's already on my waist. I like fanny packs because I don't have to worry quite as much about holding anything. If anything occupies my hands, I just want to put it down and forget about it and never touch it again. And then backpacks are just uncomfortable, so fanny packs are where it's at for me. It sounds like a dad move, but shut up, I like it. As for everything else, my mom, I was gonna ask to go to the library today to write, because that earlier conundrum of I don't like desks, specifically desks in my house, and I also don't like my bed today, because I wrote like 8 hours in my bed yesterday. So she said, it's a really nice day out, why don't you go ahead and write outside? And I forgot farm chores today. I skipped my shift, so I ended up deciding instead to write maybe in our goat pen, because I love our goats and I'll feed them some sweet feed while I'm writing. I've packed myself with some sunflower seeds, and my novel book thing, and my Kindle, because at some point I'm gonna need to recharge. A lot of people, again, I talked about this when I was showing you my Chromebook, but a lot of people say, don't write like that, don't read the same thing you're writing. But it's only for me, when I read what I'm writing, like the same thing, that I sort of recharge my creative energy. For me, my creativity comes from source materials, like a lot of them, that I then package up into an original idea, because ultimately nothing that I've seen is true creativity. Creativity is when you engage a lot of material and then bring it towards yourself, and then those original ideas will come from those materials. I'm not saying copy anything, but you know, you'll take an aspect from one novel, you'll take an aspect from another novel, you'll just combine various ideas until it becomes your own. And that's interesting we'll have to investigate that a bit more. And I'm gonna see you in the goat pen. Things first, however, priorities aside, I'm going to say hello to the angriest animal I own and pray I don't get bitten. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, there's her head. Was she hiding? Come here, sweetheart. Come here. Oh, yes, so mad. I'm working with her. She's gonna become a lot nicer eventually. Yes, I realize you're mad. Oh my goodness, so angry. She got dirt in her nose, so she's just hissing through those clogged noses. I've tried to get her out of it, but honestly, she just bit the crap out of me last time I tried to get it out of her nose, and she tends to clear it up on her own. Her lights are off until about 8, her heat and UVB, so it's about 10, and she's gotten some time to warm up, so she's particularly angry today. And so I like to pick her up whenever I'm free and just, you know, get her used to being touched, even if it makes her mad, telling me to back off. You see that? She's very upset. Okay, I'll see you later, sweetheart. Let's put your hide back. There we go. Look at that little skink. I love you. Hey everyone, good morning. I've set up a nice little shed here, which is where we keep our feed. It just rained recently, so it's nice and cool out. Yes, I realize. It's nice and cool out, and I very much enjoy it. So I'm gonna get into that shed. Excuse you. I'm gonna go into that shed, and we are going to enjoy some nice writing. So this is what we store our food in. This is for the baby chickens and the quail. This is because it's hard to... Excuse me, sir, I'm trying to talk. This is because it keeps moisture and pests out, and it just twists, and it's really kind of, I wouldn't say airtight, but it's really good for that. It keeps bugs out. And this is our hobo rigged door. This whole shed and the pen here, it's made of chain link, but it's only temporary. Hi, Ruby. Anyway, it's only temporary, and we'll be replacing this fence with what we put our boys in. We'll be replacing this fence with what we put our boys in, and it's like fence with the posts buried like 2 feet into the ground and really sturdy because goats rub up against these chain links and create holes, and we've patched it the best we can over the years, but it's just not fitting our purposes. Sweetheart, that's not where you go. I'm sorry. Either way, it provides good shade and a good light, so I'm gonna get to writing. So since I'm here, I'm gonna introduce you to our goats. So these angels, this is Ruby. She's not being milked right now, but she's next on the list. We rotate them so that we can keep, you know, we can give them a good rest. Maybe 1.5 years is our goal before we milk them again. She's our current milker. She is Lacey. Her boy is over there, if you can see. Hi, Robin. Hi, sweetheart. So we have Lacey and her boy, and she milks for us, and that is Daisy. She's our newest, and she is, hi, yes, she is gonna grow up and become our next girl. Oh, don't hit her. You're so mean, Lacey. What was that for? Okay, well, that's our goats. We have 2 more boys, a buck and a wether. And a buck is a breeding male, and a wether is a fixed male, because they need company. You can't keep just one goat. So we have a buck and a wether, and then we just keep them together, and they're in the good pen. We're gonna replace this whole setup over here, maybe keep the duck pens, but we're gonna replace this whole setup eventually, hopefully. Hi. Hi. What you doing over here, sweetheart? You're supposed to be scared of people. What is this? What is this good behavior you're doing? Oh, it's peeing. Okay. Hi. Okay, so I wrote for about 10 minutes, I'd say, and I went ahead and started the scene where the main character is waiting on seeing some really important person to figure out if he's going to this place where, you know, it's really scary and he's not comfortable at all, and it's where he meets his love interest, and it's gonna be really exciting. I'm on chapter 3, and it's a bit of a slow start because we haven't even hit the catalyst. I work by, I wouldn't say save the cat because it's a lot more organized than what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is I'm working with save the cat, but I'm not measuring anything. So I will just hit these story beats automatically, because what happened is I'm really bad at outlining. Actually, I'm really bad at drafting. I'm really good at outlining, because I would write these outlines for these stories I would really like to do, but then I would forget. I wouldn't forget, but then what would happen is they would be dead on arrival, and I would have no want, will, or need to write them. It was no longer escape, it was a task I needed to complete, and that just wasn't what I wanted. So I decided this novel I'm going to pants or not plan at all, and we're gonna see if it works, kind of, almost, really, yeah. So that's step 1. Step 2 is I'm probably gonna go inside. This change of scenery really helped. I'm probably gonna be able to write on my bed for a bit longer, and if not my bed, maybe even my computer desk. We'll see. Changes like this, where I'm able to spend time somewhere else, will really get me able to go to my desk, because what I associate my desk with mentally is executive dysfunction, basically. It's where I do my schoolwork, and it makes me really uncomfortable to sit at because, you know, my schoolwork, I have ADHD, and so I get so overwhelmed, so scared, so anxious when I have to go to school that writing in that place would be just not something I want to do. It's true, and I don't like it, but it is what it is. And so I'm gonna try and beat that association by sitting at my desk, if all goes well, and typing up my writings here. And the main character right now is working with someone from what I called it the Underchasm. That might change, but it's kind of a cool name for like a planet that's hollow and then everyone's living inside it. So it's called the Underchasm, and she's from the Underchasm, and she's getting like, I wouldn't say racism, but she's an alien, and so they're kind of discriminating against her for her race, and basically because she's from the Underchasm. Because the Underchasm sort of serves as this huge prison that these creatures are left in to die. But they've thrived, they've been 3 generations strong, and they have their own culture. So that's sort of where I'm at. She's interesting. She's interesting. I think I have a line that sums up her character pretty damn well. Let's see here. Noted, she said softly. She sounded like a machine. Like those cold robotic companions I've spotted trailing their owners in the fashion district. So that's sort of how she's like. Her personality is almost like, I don't want to say it's bad. It's a trope that I want to change, or build off of, because what happens is a lot of people, especially in Japanese media, like anime almost, their personality is based around having no personality. They're just stone-faced, and they're quiet, and they're really secretive and things like that. And while I want her to be like that, I want to give her more of a personality, right? So I'm gonna build a past that would make sense for someone with this degree of trauma. And I have a rough understanding of psychology, just because, you know, I'm mentally ill. A lot of my family works in the mental health career, so I know what trauma causes what behaviors, etc., etc., and thoughts that lie underneath. And that's a lot of what you see in stories where they tell you to write your character. That is the character's lie. If you've seen that whole outlining method, I give my characters a lie. I believe I have one for the main character that would fit pretty well. There's a few lines that illustrate it, but this is the best one. And I'm gonna rework this in post because the wording is a bit off, and that's the note I made if you look at the footage. Excuse me, ma'am. That's the wording if you look at the footage. And it said, like any isolated culture over the course of history, and I would know, I have a further education Madam, you need to stop. I have a further education mark on intergalactic law and past dealings. The degree hanging on my wall as a searing tombstone for the rebellion I posed to my imperial career ruling. They probably have their own culture, completely separate from our own. So, I've sort of built this main character to be pounded down and like rendered a moot point, basically. And so his character and his trauma and his lie are gonna focus around that idea. So we're gonna see exactly how this works. I'm gonna go inside. I'm not sure if I'm gonna type it up or keep writing because I'm really excited to see what happens next. This pantsing is working out because I never know what's gonna happen. And it's the same effect as reading where you just don't know what's gonna happen when you turn the page. It's like, ooh. So the servant has addressed them, said, you know, it's time to go inside and meet this really important person. And what happened is the main character, Angelo, he has stood up, stuffed his hands into his pockets, and he said, okay, let's go. And Penelope is still sitting there, thinking that nobody has addressed her at all. And Penelope is the alien, by the way. So that is what that's what her lie tells her, that's what she's doing, you know? No one's addressing me, I'm not important, you know? So she's really quiet and she's sort of hanging out in the background. So that's really exciting. We're gonna see how that writes out, because I want it to translate well. I've sent it, the first draft, or the second draft, I believe, to a few beta readers, and they said that they really like my characters, and that's kind of and they said that they really liked the characters, and that was sort of the highlight. And I want this so badly to be a character-driven story. I want this story to be amazing for the rich and detailed and real-feeling characters I give. And up until this point, I think I'm gonna make a video on it. Or if I already have, you'll see it. Ma'am? If I already have, you'll see it. But I don't publish my novels. I've written 5 of them. And if you hear a background noise, Ruby decided that she would like to lick her salt lick loudly. But the important part, I've never published a novel before, and this is the first one I'm gonna publish because I used it as an escape, but I hated my own writing. And this is the first time where I've developed a process where I would actually like it. So I'm scared, I'm excited, I'm nervous, and we're gonna see exactly how this pans out. And I'm just excited. So I'll see you when I go inside, and we'll try and write some more and get some B-roll footage. Alright, so hope you don't mind my painting back there, it's nasty, it's really old. But I've gone ahead and I've written the 4th chapter? Yes, chapter 4, where, you know, the character's meeting this important person or whatever, and he's finally agreed to go. Ooh, I'm so excited. This is just like reading. It's like I'm reading my own story as I write it. It's like, if I were reading, I would be like, oh my god. Anyway, this is gonna be fun because Penelope, the alien, is just as much out of her element as he is. So that is awesome. And so far today, this whole chapter is what I've been working on, and I've got 2,233 words. So that's a good place to start, but we're gonna keep going and see what I can come up with in this book of mine for our next chapter, where I believe Reed, the morgue worker, is gonna find that new body. Spoilers are everywhere. I'm terrible at this. Hi, so it's been a couple hours since I last updated. I probably should update more, but I haven't written anything else. I spent way longer than I'd like to admit editing the video so far. I'm gonna see if I can get up on my desk and start writing again. Hopefully I can. I really like my clicky-clacky keyboard I have. It's like a little mechanical one I look for. So that's exciting. And I don't know, it's weird. I at the same time, I have these feelings where it's like, I love my writing, because before it was like a messy first draft. I typed up all on the computer, and I was just doing it because maybe my dog pissed me off, or my friend argued with me and I don't want to deal with those feelings right now, so I just would go write and ignore life. But now I'm publishing it. So I have these thoughts that I know aren't logical, but they tell me, like, what if no one likes it? And the what ifs kind of screw me over, don't they? So I'm not sure. I'm anxious, but I'm gonna try. This is a lot. Okay, so update. I didn't end up writing. I've been here for about an hour. Yeah, I'm kind of guilty about that. But I was procrastinating. And usually when I procrastinate writing, of all things, which is like my escape, I sort of noticed something has gone wrong. Because I have sort of a track record of not taking care of myself or listening to my body. So I realized that I haven't eaten at all. I drank a cup of coffee today with cream, and that sort of upset my stomach because I'm lactose intolerant, and I just didn't end up eating. So I've made myself a chicken pot pie, like one of those Marie Callender ones, and I'm gonna try and eat it, maybe do some reading and recharge my brain cells, and today might end up just reading. I got a new Kindle like a week ago, and so hopefully that means I can read instead of writing for a little bit. Hi. So I managed to write 2 more pages after I ate, and I watched some Kate Kavanaugh, and that was really nice. I'm feeling a bit tired, but I usually feel tired, so I'm gonna keep going. I've had this weird question on my mind of whether or not writing this much is healthy, because I have ADHD, and ADHD, it do be like that sometimes. I'm kind of hyper-focusing on writing. Like, a few days ago I was hyper-focusing on reading, and I read a lot, and then now I'm sort of like writing more than I'm reading, and I'm like, oh god, what am I doing? I have no idea what's going on! So that's fun, I think. Well, I've gotten to the scene where Reed, the morgue worker, goes and speaks to the big doctor lady, Jade, like the mortician. I'd say mortician, autopsy person who cuts people up. Either way, he talked to her, and my favorite part of this is, "Bad day?" she asked. "Yeah," I sighed out. "Why?" "I've never seen you smoke," she replied. "Well, I was trying to quit," I said. "Oh well." Must have been a real bad day, huh? Reed. Okay. They have a mind of their own. What can I say? They're all up here. Not my brain, their brain. I'll see you later. Okay, I literally just stopped recording, and then I realized that over here, if you can see, we're talking about, we're sort of talking about how long our chapters are, and something occurred to me. I overwrite a lot, and that's a product of how much I put on paper. And then I add more as I make a document, and my overwriting is a product of paper where I add more to a document as I type it up, and I need to stop that. So eventually, like, I noticed my chapters are really short despite having a lot of words. So like I'll have 2,000 to 3,000 words in them, and then like I overwrite those. So it racked my brain for a second, and I realized not a lot happens in my chapters. Like, a lot of people will have a lot of, like, not scenes, but like a lot of beat points in their chapters. But I really don't have that. Yikes. Yeah, I don't have that. So, I'm hoping it's still okay and that I don't produce a bad novel, but anxiety brain tells me no, your novel's gonna be bad. Wish me luck. Oh my god. So I managed to get that writing in that I mentioned, and I went to McDonald's with my dad to pick up dinner. But in the car I decided to do some reading. This book kicked my ass. I knew I was reading a mystery, but not. Okay. I have a lot to say about this book. It's so good, but also so bad. Oh my god. 4.5 to 3.5. It's like that kind of good book. And I never give anything a 5 out of 5. So, yikes. The mystery didn't even have to involve, like, I was just hit with a double whammy of mysteries. And fucking, oh my god. The mystery did not involve the actual investigation. It involved one of the characters dropping a bomb on me. Okay. I'm emotionally destroyed. I don't know what to do. I called my friend for like an hour and she's gone to bed, and now I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Help me. But a word sprint is starting and I really don't feel like writing, but I want to escape this nightmare I have from this book. It's so good, it's painful. Okay, I'm a mess. We usually do 15-minute sprints on the NaNoWriMo Discord. It's kind of off-season, it's not camp or NaNoWriMo, or it's like the end of camp. But, I'm just waiting for this sprint to finish because I've written out this page, and I'm mad because I can only write exactly a page when I sprint, so I have to either wait till the sprint is over or cry or do both, because it's like I can't not only do one page, or I feel guilty for only doing one page, but I can't do more than one page if I can't finish that page in the sprint time, and I'm just so mad. I'm about to type about 4 pages of words. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pages of words into my Notion document. I normally save this for like 2 pages on. I find a stopping point at 2 pages, type it in, and start again. And it's starting to get my executive dysfunction just a bit. Because it's by far my least favorite part of this whole process. But God willing, I'm gonna see if I can get all these pages in. And yikes. I wrote a lot more than I thought I did. Damn. That was in 2 sprints? No, 3 sprints. I need to stop. Okay, I'm gonna go type this in. The sprint has started, and I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Okay, so I typed up those 4 pages. I just got done with a 30-minute sprint and then a 15-minute sprint. The 4 pages are beefy, apparently. I think this one chapter, let me check. Holy crap. This one chapter must be so freaking long. Like, way longer than my other ones. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to trim it down or beef the other ones up. Actually, it's only 1,700 words. What? Either way, I found something perfect. I was trying to type a sentence. It said, last time I forgot one, I had the homicide captain breathing down the back of my neck. And I spelled it Cide. Watch me be dyslexic for like 10 minutes straight. And I did that, and then I thought of something. I realized what I want the code name for this book to be. It's gonna be Project Homicide. Fuck yeah. I'm so excited. Okay. All is well in my universe. I'm probably gonna draft some more with some more sprints. I'm at currently almost, let's see. I'm at 10K words. I wrote 10,000 words in 2 fucking days, bitch. Yes! I'm amazing. Bow down before me or die. Okay, so I hit 10,000 words in 2 days. Chef's kiss. Milking my ADHD hyperfocus for all it's worth, baby. That's very exciting. But anxiety brain told me today that I don't want to write anymore before, like, I like 5K a day. It makes me feel good in my heart. So I'm gonna stick with my 5K I wrote today and cry. No, I'm joking. I'm probably gonna relax. I had a really busy day. I'm gonna get tons of reading in, maybe recharge a bit, and I'm so excited. I think I'm gonna end this vlog out here. This was really nice to film. I should probably try it more often. It might push me to write more. I don't know. I think once or twice a week I'm gonna have just 2-day writing sprints and just go crazy. I think it'd be really nice. Thanks everyone.